Well, hello everybody and welcome to Google Apps for Real Estate Professionals. On behalf of Tina Mowen and Dido, my name is Bill Seibolt and we'd like to welcome you to this presentation. We thank you so much for taking some time out of the day to join us. Just a bit of housekeeping before we start. If you do have any questions, as Tina mentioned earlier, please use the chat panel in GoToMeeting, and Megan Donovan will be more than happy to answer any of your questions that you have on hand. So here's a bit of our agenda today. We always get a mixed group of attendees in these events. So there are some people that might be familiar with Google Apps, and some people are seeing this for the first time. What we'd like to do is talk briefly about some of the technology trends that are currently driving IT. And then next we'll cover from a top level what Google Apps is. We'll demo some of the functionality in Google Drive, Sites, and a few other applications specific for real estate. And then we'll wrap up by taking a moment for you to get to know who Dido is and how we can help leverage the cloud for your organization. Finally, if there are any additional questions that you might have, we'd be happy to answer those. So let's talk a little bit about some of the current trends that are centered around the convergence of business and consumer technology. First, more and more people are leveraging the cloud these days. You think about how we access information and how we utilize technology in our daily lives. We have embraced technology which allows us to do more and at a quicker pace with more people. In fact, this has changed our expectations around how we buy, find, share, and consume. And you consider, for example, how we pay our bills. 61% of Americans these days use the internet to pay their bills. Or reading the newspaper, which 39% of Americans now do this online instead of actually reading a physical paper. Or shopping, which is one of the areas where we see the most change, where mobile devices allow us to compare prices actually inside the store and then immediately allow us to transact online. In fact, 70% of U.S. online customers research their products online before buying them in the store. And by 2014, the web will influence 53% of U.S. retail sales. Now, this kind of connectivity is available for everyone, not just consumers, not just large businesses, but everyone. The unprecedented access to the immense scale is leveling the playing field, allowing small businesses to compete with large ones and tying success more closely than ever to speed, simplicity, and innovation. And why is this happening? It's the easy and affordable access to technology in both our consumer and our work lives that has enabled this new behavior. And underlying it all, you'll find the cloud. The cloud delivers ubiquitous connectivity and transparent information online at a global scale through your browser or through mobile devices. We're seeing that actually with even global 1,000 companies, that more than 50% of them by the end of next year will have stored some sort of consumer data in the public cloud. And there's also tremendous growth in mobility. 90% of the U.S. population has a mobile phone, and 40% now have a smartphone. And you think that within those 40%, they're continually seeking better ways to utilize cloud-based solutions on this platform. And also with social media. U.S. users spent 121 billion minutes, that's more than 230,000 60 years on social media in a given single month. And that's more time that we spend on the telephone, reading our mail, and checking email combined. We're always connected to one another, whether it's through social media, messaging, or video calling. So what's driving this change? Analysts like to attribute this to technology, but I think it's more than that. At the most fundamental level, what's really changing is our behavior. The availability of the cloud has made things easier, and we don't even realize it, that most Americans rely on some sort of cloud-based service. Now, these trends have been emerging for quite some time, but the speed and scale of these changes have come about have caused fundamental shifts in our behavior. And as a result, consumers are getting things done faster and more efficient than ever before. So there's this term that's called consumerization of IT, and what it boils down to is people are asking, why can't I work the way I live? These behaviors, this desire for us to use the same tools and approaches that we use at home to do our work are widespread. And people fundamentally want to join together and get the work done and create value. This is not a new trend. For quite some time now, people have been taking their consumer tools to work. We're actually seeing this especially within the next generation, where they're placing a priority on the ability to choose what platform, applications, and hardware they work on. And people have always figured out how to get things done, but now they're even willing to sacrifice salary to do the same things they do at work as they do at home. And when you think about this a little bit more, it creates a tremendous opportunity for businesses everywhere. And that's where Google Apps for Business comes in. So those of you who are maybe not familiar with Google Apps, it's a cloud-based suite of applications. It's built on the Google network and eliminates your need for software, servers, maintenance, and upgrades. It addresses the paradigm shift, working the way you live. These are tools that can help cross boundaries as well as blend your home and work life. And with Google Apps, you're able to work with any team to get things done. You're not able to work with people everywhere, not just within your own company at the speed at which you work. And you're not limited to just cubicle or office walls. So much of your work is done outside of the office. And with Google Apps, you can work at any place. And you can work at any time. Real estate is not a Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 job. You can't afford to have servers down for upgrades and maintenance. Google Apps is always on. Finally, it works on any device. You're no longer limited to simply your workstation or your laptop. Mobile technology is indispensable for you. Not only is Google Apps accessible via any operating system or browser, it's available on any mobile device, and that includes Android, iOS, and BlackBerry, phone or tablet. So here are a number of tools right out of the box within Google Apps for Business, the cornerstone bit of which being Gmail, which is a robust email client with 25 gigabytes in your inbox. There are also applications such as Google Drive and Calendar. There are other applications such as Sites and Google Plus that offer additional collaborative capabilities. And keep in mind there's a strong layer of security throughout, providing virus and spam protection, as well as keeping your data locked in the cloud. And when we say that Google Apps is accessible from anywhere, we mean it. You're able to connect to much of what you see here today on your mobile platform. And it's not just a few companies that have gone Google. This is a global movement. Whether we're talking Silicon Valley startups, Fortune 500 companies, or major universities, they're all benefiting from going Google. One such example is Midget Realty, who we helped move to Google Apps. Dido has also worked with a number of other real estate companies as well, and we certainly understand the technology demands in your field. So today we're going to be highlighting a number of products that specifically help you in real estate, that will help you drive sales as well as keep you connected to your clients. What I'd like to do now is have Tina join us for our demo. Tina?
Thank you, Bill. So Bill did a really good job. I appreciate you going over some of the technology trends for us. So Bill was able to highlight a lot of technology trends that we're seeing right now in the paradigm shift of technology towards cloud computing. And one of those front runners is Google Apps. But we wanted to give you a more specific perspective onto using Google Apps for the real estate industry. So what we're going to do now is break it down under specific tools. So Google Apps consist of many tools, but we're going to demo some unique tools that would really benefit the real estate industry. And these are from some of the feedback that we have received from other real estate clients, so we were able to bring this all together on one webinar for you. The tools that we're going to be discussing today are going to include Drive and Sites, Google+, YouTube, and Google Voice. We're going to start with Drive first, doing some demonstrations on my screen so you can get a better understanding of these tools. And we'll start with Drive and then just move across the right of the screen here. So we're going to bring up Drive first on my screen, and like I said, it'll just be demonstrations that you'll be able to follow along with me. So for those not familiar with Google Drive allows for both document creation and storage, as well as effective sharing of your documents as well. I'm going to give you some examples of use cases for real estate, but first let me start with some of the basic use first. So we can see here that I am in my Drive interface. So this is what it could look like if you were using Google Drive and Google Documents. For anybody that is brand new, I do want to point out that there are multiple document types, so document, presentation, spreadsheet, form, drawings. So many document types that you are already familiar with that you can use in this cloud computing. So with those files then, you can store all of your files, as we have example files all stored in the cloud here, and even store folders. So this would be useful either for internal documents if you're going to have policies and procedures that maybe you'd like your real estate office to follow, maybe your agents to follow, or you just want to house all property listing information in one location to make it easier on yourself. So this is your document creation and storage, and I do want to reiterate the fact that you can sync multiple devices to this account. So I'm sure everyone on this webinar is familiar with iPhones and iPads and Android devices and tablets, and you can virtually sync any device with this account so you can take all of this information on the go with you. So I'm going to get a little more specific now and look at some specific use cases relating to spreadsheets and documents. So what we're going to look to first is an example spreadsheet that we have. So pretty basic spreadsheet, but some ideas to get the wheels turning for your real estate industry. So the spreadsheets have multiple use cases because you can use it for either internal budgets within your office. You could use it for budgets if you are real estate for new home builds, so if you need to keep inventory on that. You can also use these spreadsheets if you need to keep track of deals that are closed, or if you're reaching your quota, or how your sales are going quarter to quarter. So we have an example here and some charts as well just to show you that it has those capabilities. But where the shining stars then of Google Documents comes in is in the ability to share. So to share a document, I can just do this with the blue button in the top right corner. And this will allow me to share this document across my team, across multiple organizations, or across different platforms as well. So you can see that I can easily share this with any individual. So I could share this with Megan. And I can even choose what access rights she has to this document. So view, comment, or edit. So right off the bat, you still have ultimate ownership of your documents. I can share and save this out. And what I want to show you as an additional feature is that the links for the documents, so the link in the address bar at the top, is a living link for the document. So I can actually copy, so I'm just doing Control-C on my keyboard right now, and I can pass this along to Bill, who is in the session with us right now, and Megan, who is answering questions in the background. So they now both have access to this document, and all they have to do is click on this link, and I can see this tally number go up where it says I have other viewers in this document. I also can see who those other viewers are, and as they are making edits in the document, I can see where they are and what edits they are making in real time. So you can see Megan is navigating through many of the cells here, making a lot of edits on the figures that we have. Bill is up here. You can see whenever I hover over the cell that they are in, it will display their name, letting me know that they are in that specific portion. And along with that, you're seeing this chart automatically get updated. So what this all boils down to then is the ability to share with your clients, your customers, or internally with your colleagues. You can bring everybody together on the same page with instant edits, and you can access this from virtually any device. So it doesn't matter if you're a Mac user, PC user, Android, tablet, whichever, you can bring this data with you. Now I know as well when you start talking about having to do multiple edits, there's some red flags on how do I maintain control, what other features are available. So I am going to transition now into doing a demo into Google Documents instead of just spreadsheets, but because I want to show you that these features are usable across the different document types. So I am going to transition now into working on a standard document. So it looks pretty similar to what you're used to in Microsoft Word, but it has all those added bonus features that come along with it, such as sharing. So just to reiterate, the sharing aspect, you still have that blue button. I can share this out with my colleagues. And to quickly bring Bill and Megan in here, I'm just going to chat them the link quickly. And just know that this is a living link, so you could post this link in a chat window, you could send this in an email, you could post it on a website, endless opportunities for sharing your documents. So now Bill and Megan are in here. Once again, we're highlighting that we can share this document and edit together. I wanted to hop over into a different format to express some of the other features that are available as well. So I pointed out already that we can have multiple people in here, and I said there might be red flags of having too many cooks in the kitchen. How do you maintain control over your documents, especially if you're going to be sharing this out with prospects or potential clients. If you want to fill in all this information, you want to make sure that you have ultimate control over your documents. So first I want to point out that there are chat windows built into each document. So I can greet my team right now. I'm just saying, hi team. In the real estate industry, this would be great because this allows your customer or client to be in the comforts of their own home, maybe filling out some initial documentation. If they need help, you can just pop in the document with them, have a side discussion. Also internally, if you need to develop internal procedures and practices, you can bounce ideas off one another, share it across multiple offices, and always get this sharing capability. So aside from that chat window, there's also the ability to post comments back and forth. So we have an example of a comment on this document, but I'm going to create a new one just so you can see it from scratch. So I can highlight any text, and I can add a comment, and I can ask for additional clarification. I can direct my comments to people. So I'm going to direct this to Megan and ask, is there any further information? So maybe I would like a little more information in the property description. So now Megan gets a notification letting her know that I'm specifically asking her to maybe clarify a little more on the property description, and they can fill that out as well. So you can go back and forth with the chat, go back and forth with the comments, and when comments are resolved, you can also mark them as resolved so you're not cluttering your document. And then the last thing I want to show you in here is what I'm calling worst case scenario, because perhaps you share it with somebody and they just misunderstand the direction that you're going in with the document, or maybe various mistakes have been made on a specific property listing, maybe the description, or just any mistake could happen. So what you can do is go to File, See Revision History, and it gives you a detailed history of all the edits that have been made. So this is nice because if you were to share this out with a potential client or customer or prospect, you can see the edits as they are made, and if any mistakes were made, you can always backtrack on the document. And same for internal documents. If you're going to be sharing documents with one another, you can easily see what edits your colleagues are making. And if for any reason there was any mistakes, you can always select Restore this revision on any of the previous revision types that were in the document, and it will bring that back to a time when it made sense to you again. So a lot of excellent features because it allows you the ability to share and streamline these document processes instead of the past scenario where you would just email attachments back and forth. You can really streamline it, but you still have that ultimate control over your documents. So I gave you two examples here with the spreadsheet, also with the document. And I also wanted to show you how it is your storage capacity as well. Because I'm sure in real estate, maybe you're not just working with standard documents all the time. There's many photos that you come across for your property listings, maybe descriptions that you find from other locations. And instead of adding them as newer documents, you can easily just store them under Google Drive. So one example that I have in here is a folder of luxury listings, so a girl can dream. Maybe these are all my future homes. But you get the idea that you can take any photos that you have, so even if you're just snapping photos with your mobile device, if you have high quality or high resolution photos, you can store them on here as well. And it's better for your own sanity because it's all kept in one location. It's not kept on a local machine, it's stored in the cloud. What that means then is that no matter where you are, if you are at an open house, if you are in the office, if you are driving down the road and somebody just needs one quick picture, a file, some piece of information, you can share it out with them. So you can see as I cycle through here, I have the ability to store many file types. So I have a lot of images in here. We looked at different document types. So Google Drive is fantastic for your document creation, your storage management with those sharing capabilities. So circling back to our demo here, I wanted to spend a little bit of time on Google Drive because I understand it may be a newer aspect for some in the webinar right now. So we were able to highlight a lot of those wonderful features. We are going to transition now though into talking about Google Sites. Because Google Sites would be another fantastic way to get visibility either for your specific business in real estate or individually as agents. So for those that aren't familiar with Sites, they are similar to Drive, where Sites is useful for both internally and externally facing sites. Of course, you can create either a helpful intranet, either just within your office, and sites are easy to create for property listings as well. So you could create your own specific Google site for property listings. So I'm going to bring up a demo site that I have created. It's fairly simple. And this is the demo site that I'm going to show you some of the fantastic features you can get within Google Sites. And there are actually templates pre-made for you to use as well. So to be honest, this did not take too long to make. You don't need to be a webmaster to create these sites. If you know how to point and click your mouse, you can absolutely make your own website. So very simple. So I'm going to take the time now to highlight some of the features of Google Sites that you can use specifically for your needs in real estate, because I'm sure everybody's website needs are different. So let's target the real estate needs. So first, what I want to point out is that you can showcase your houses, your property listings. You can have a site dedicated either to your business or to specific agents, and you can feature properties. You can have all your information about properties. You can see as I'm scrolling through, we have different property information. We also have a presentation here of maybe new properties that were added. So it is that one-stop shop for information. Along with the property information, you can have libraries of information. So you can have libraries of information. You can add all of your Google Drive files. So what I just showed you in all of these images, you can easily bring them into a Google site. So instead of you just having access to all of these wonderful photos of your property listings, all your potential prospects would as well. You can also post videos on the site, and it's not difficult to do. So if you are in the act of maybe doing a virtual tour of a home, you could post that on your site. Also, if you would like to post interviews of success stories, that is always a great way to draw in an audience as well. And aside from having maybe a personal site for the agents or the business site for whichever business you're working with, you can also make client-specific sites. So if you're working with a specific family and you want to quickly just create a site of all the different options that are available for them, you could easily do that within Sites as well. Another thing I want to point out is that you have the ability to add essentially any feature that you're looking for that information you wish to share. So we also have a calendar that's embedded into this site. So if you would like to display a calendar of events, of maybe open houses that you are going to have, about new information that's going to be happening within your business, if you want to have an intranet and you just want a one-stop shop for all of your agents and all of the people working in the office to locate, you'd be able to do that. And of course, like I said, it is very easy to create a Google site. I want to prove that here to you as well, because like I said, I took this from a template and just expanded from there. But you can see that it's very easy because, as I said, it's just point and click of the mouse where you can insert videos, you can insert different presentations, Picasso photo albums if you want to highlight some of your property listings. You can even embed documents. So if you would like a property listing to have a further description, you could embed documents, or even embed forms, which would allow you to streamline the process of getting instant information from your prospects or within the office. So Sites is a really fantastic tool because it allows you to have a one-stop shop for all of your information, whether you want that internally facing or externally facing. So I gave you the examples of having a Google site for property listings, for agents, or even having an intranet on the inside. And like I said, it's very easy to manipulate where you do not need to be a webmaster. You can easily create this website with the point and click of your mouse. So we are going to transition onto the next topic here. I just want to be respectful of your time. And we're going to transition the thought process rather than just sharing maybe property listings and so forth to looking at the social aspect of Google Apps. So with this comes Google+. Some of you may be familiar with Google+ already, some of you may be on Google+ already, and on the other hand, some of you may not be. So I want to talk a little bit about Google+ and point out some useful features for you in the real estate industry so you can hit the ground running in using this social platform. So I have a Google+ page for our organization, Dido. So this is actually our business page, but of course you can create your own personal page or you can create a business page as well. Google+ will allow you to promote your business as well as your listings. You can also use hashtags like you are familiar with on Twitter, and this can expand your visibility. So I'm going to take some time just to point out some of the key features on Google+ that could be useful to you and introduce some new concepts of ways you can utilize Google+ to enhance your education and visibility. So first I want to point out for those that are not familiar with Google+, that one of the great features with Google+ is that you have the ability to post to specific circles. So this will allow you to streamline and monitor how you're posting. So if you want to post to the public new listings, you can absolutely do that. But if you need to post maybe some articles or questions to some of your colleagues in your field, you can limit your posting just by organizing your circles and then denoting who you would like to see your post. On top of that, there are also great opportunities for educations and discussions, and those are found within communities. So communities are a great place to learn about specific topics, and I even found some great examples about real estate as well. So I'll just do a quick search here for real estate, and we are going to hop over to communities because there's wonderful, wonderful resources which you can find in Google+. One that I found in particular was real estate marketing, so how you can market in the real estate industry. And once I open this up, you can see that I can get all kinds of wonderful information. Some real estate professionals bouncing ideas off of one another, learning together as a group, posting new ideas or new successes that they have found. And of course, you can ask to join the groups, which makes the monitoring of the groups very successful. You ask to be a member of the group, so you can post within the group, read the articles, and learn together as a team. And that monitoring will ensure that it is a targeted group of individuals, and it's just not a general news feed of whatever anybody wants to say. It is a targeted topic, so this is a great way to get visibility and learn together as a group as well. The next thing I want to point out is the ability to post events on Google Plus as well. So you can post events on here. This is a great way to let the public know what events you have coming up, whether they're going to be open houses, if you are going to have maybe a meet and greet with some of your agents. You can post those events on Google Plus. You can also invite anybody to these events. They can access the events right from your feed here. You can see some of the events we have within our own organization. We do Hangouts on air. We do some webinars. We like to usually give a mixed bag. But it gives you the ability to give you that visibility for either your agents or for your business. And then the last feature that I want to highlight on Google Plus is called Hangouts on Air. So Hangouts on Air is a way to broadcast Google Plus Hangouts. Google Plus Hangouts are a multi-way video conferencing. You can actually have up to 15 people in one video conference at a time. You can see some examples of broadcasted Google Plus Hangouts on Air here. So if you wanted to get the wheels spinning on different ways you can utilize this. Some examples that I can give is if you would like to broadcast an open house for those prospects that are geographically dispersed, you could absolutely do that so they could be a part of that open house without ever leaving their own house. Also, if you wanted to have maybe interviews or success stories, you could broadcast an interview with a success story with maybe a past client of yours, and you could easily broadcast that over the internet. So now, of course, then that begs the question, where does that broadcast go? So that's the perfect leadway then into YouTube. So YouTube kind of goes hand in hand with Google Plus then, because your Hangouts on Air stream right into YouTube. So I wanted to take some time to point out some features that you may not be familiar with on YouTube. Now, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time here because I'm sure you are all familiar with YouTube, so I don't want to beat a dead horse there. But what you may not know is that the abilities that you have to create your own channel, to edit and view statistics. So I'm going to bring up our own YouTube channel here. It's very simple to get a YouTube channel. You just get a general username and sign in. So we have our Dido LLC user YouTube channel. I can always access my video manager. So this will give me a list of all the videos that we have created on here. You'll see that we do in fact have some Google Plus Hangouts along with some other videos as well. What's great is even if you broadcast a Google Plus Hangout on air, if it doesn't go smoothly, you know, sometimes it's not perfect, you can always go in and edit the video. You can add your info and settings, you can enhance your videos, you can tweak the audio, you can add annotations and captions as well. So this will allow you to even enhance maybe those virtual tours that you have for your property listings. Also enhance just getting social exposure to your business. You can add in additional information about property listings in those annotations and captions and also additional information for your business as people are watching these videos. And then aside from editing the videos, you can also get basic statistics about the videos as well. So the video here, how to use Gmail's new Compose experience, I can view the stats to get the basic statistics and learn how the viewership of my videos are going. So I can check out the performance here, how many views we have, estimated minutes watched, the engagement. I can get the demographics of where it has been viewed. I can even zone down specifically on those demographics, so you can see that I can keep clicking and it keeps zoning down. So this would be great specifically for the agents and being able to zone in and where your hot pockets are of interest. So this is a great way to not only get that visibility, but also figure out where your areas of interest are coming from. So with YouTube, like I said, you have that ability then to streamline or stream those Google Plus Hangouts on air into YouTube. Of course, you can upload other videos. You can edit those videos as well, and even find statistics about those videos to learn where your areas of interest are. So the last demonstration that I am going to give here is going to be about Google Voice. So Google Voice is a capability that's actually built right into Google Mail. It's not an additional service that you would have to pay for. It comes right with the Google Apps platform. So I do want to say right off the bat that Google Voice is free, and I emphasize free, no loopholes, free calls to US and Canada. You can actually pick your own Google Voice number as well. So if you wanted to create your own Google Voice number and have it the same area code that you work in or you live in, you have the ability to do that. What's really nice about the Google Voice numbers is that it would allow you to separate your personal world from your professional world, so that work-life balance. Because I'm sure a lot of the agents maybe just succumb to just giving out their personal line, and then you kind of have to play this game of trying to figure out when it's a client calling, or maybe when your kids are in trouble. So having your own Google Voice line will allow you to keep them separate but connect them. And what I mean when I say connect them, you can actually have it sync with your mobile phone. So anytime somebody calls your Google Voice number, your mobile phone will also ring. So that way you're not giving out your personal phone number, but you're still having that information come to you, because we all bring our mobile phones everywhere. You can also have your voicemails transcribed to text. So if somebody leaves you a voicemail and maybe you're busy, you can have that transcribed to a text message, which would come right to your mobile phone as well. You can also customize the greetings. So I said that you can have two separate phone numbers. So if you want, you can have customized greetings or voicemails. And also those high-profile clients that you have, you can customize a greeting specifically for them. So if I was a high-profile client of yours, and I call you often, maybe it's a specific broker that you work with, maybe another colleague or another business that you work with closely, you can customize the greeting to say, "Hi Tina, I'm sorry I missed your call. I'll get back to you as soon as possible." So it allows you to really customize your work and your life and bring that balance together. And I have an example here just up in my Google Mail account of what it looks like from the computer. You can see you have this dial pad. It's not additional software that you have to get. It comes right with the package. So you could make calls from sitting at your computer, or you can take it on the go with you with your mobile phone. So a pretty unique feature there. I know sometimes that feature is bypassed, so I absolutely wanted to highlight that for you on this session. So let me just give a quick recap here of some of the things that we talked about, because I understand that we just went through a pretty good deal of information. So we talked about Google Drive, and like I said, Google Drive is your document creation, management, and sharing system. It allows you to bring your team together, whether that team is just going to be with colleagues or clients, and also maintain control over those documents. There's also Google Sites, which would be your one-stop shop for either creating sites for property listings, you can create customized sites for clients, or you can create an intranet just for your business. Google Plus is that social media platform where you can gain visibility either for yourself as an agent or for your particular real estate business within your community, and join global communities as well. And also broadcast videos, so you can record those Hangouts on air and have them streamed into YouTube, where you can then edit, you can enhance the videos, and even catch the statistics. And then last, we looked at Google Voice to learn how you can kind of maintain that work-life balance and enhance the capabilities that are already available to you so you can use these features to the fullest. And of course, these are just some unique features we chose to highlight from some of the feedback we received from other agencies. If you would like to learn more about the core applications, such as Google Mail or Google Calendar, maybe contacts, you can always contact us for personal demonstrations. We're happy to set that up for you. But now that you have some food for thought on utilizing the features of Google Apps, I'm going to pass it back to Bill, who's going to take a moment to discuss our role in the Going Google process.
Thanks, Tina. So Dido is your implementation partner, and we're known worldwide as the Google Apps experts. Dido happened to be founded 1 month after Google Apps was launched in April of 2007 as one of Google's original resellers. And now we're one of 6 premier partners for Google, and we've become one of the most reputable and credible partners that Google has today. We've helped companies of all sizes, businesses ranging from 1 user to organizations as large as 25,000 users, and we've been able to smoothly transition them to Google Apps. We've helped out hundreds of companies in various industries like retail, business services, consulting, financial services, education, government, and real estate. Our primary services can be broken down into 4 main categories: deployment and integration, change management and training, development, and support. Now, we have certified deployment specialists who will administer the migration of any messaging environment such as Exchange, Lotus Notes, GroupWise, Zimbra, Webmail. We also provide companies with a change management team and trainers that deliver interactive instruction as well as guide your end users as they transition to the cloud. We also have a team of developers that work with Google Apps Script as well as the Google APIs to help create custom sites and intranet portals, as well as integrations with existing CRMs and workflows. And lastly, we have teams dedicated solely on supporting customers' technical needs with ongoing phone, email, and online support. So if you need additional information, here's all of our contact information. We would love to be able to help out. As Tina mentioned, we'd be more than willing to schedule a customized demonstration on some of the other applications that Google has to offer. And right now, we'd like to open up to any questions that you might have. As we mentioned before, you can feel free to either go under the chat portion of GoToMeeting, or under the GoToMeeting section of your application and plug it in there, or raise your hand. We'll be unmute you, and you can ask a question that way.
Great, thanks, Bill. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So the first question we have here is from Darren, it looks like. Does Google Apps for Business have more features than Gmail, so than the consumer version of Gmail?
Oh, sure. Okay, so Darren, one of the key things between the business account versus a standard Gmail account is that you do get more with the business account, so that makes sense, right? And what I mean by more is, first, you get admin control. So if you're going to be a real estate business and passing out all these email addresses, the admin control will allow you to customize your environment by choosing what services you want to turn on or off, monitoring those services, and then also with your business account, you get to have and display your own domain. So instead of having an email address that is at gmail.com, it could be at xyzrealty.com, so just as an example. So it allows you to keep that professionalism while still getting those extra bonus features in the business accounts as well. Another thing that comes to mind is you can get customized links for sites. So one of the things I talked about was creating Google Sites. Now, if you're going to do that just from a personal account, the URL for that site is going to end up being sites.google.com / whatever you name it then. So with your business account, you'd be able to customize the URLs for that site so it doesn't become this long-winded URL. So of course you get bonus features You get business features as well, such as the ability to set your out-of-office notice for email, along with other features as well. So yes, there is a difference between the business and the Gmail account.
Great, thanks Tina. Another question we have is from Pat. It says she's interested in a demonstration. Pat, we'll get in touch with you after to schedule that demonstration of email. Another question we have is from Bill regarding, whoops, excuse me, puppy's talking here, regarding Google Sites. He'd like to know if it's possible to integrate an IDX service into the Google website. Tina or Bill, can you speak to that? I know that there's a way, I'm just not familiar with the technical side of that.
Yeah, and Bill, that might be something that we want to discuss specifically with you too, because I see that there's two parts to that. One was just about the IDX, and you said when people visit a real estate website, they want to see real estate. So absolutely. So how would you integrate all of that? So of course you could recreate some of those in property listings. If you already have a site set up, we'd be happy to sit down with you individually, see what you have set up, where you have it set up, and how we could integrate that for you.
Okay, another question that we have here, it looks from Julia. How do you use Google Apps when there's no internet connection? That's a great question.
Sure, that is a really good question. So Google Apps does allow you to go offline. So even though it is a cloud-based system, you do have offline capabilities. So let me get into this example here. So you can go offline with Google Mail. It's actually through the Chrome browser, so I just want to prove to you without just telling you it's a capability. So if you don't have internet access, you can take your email offline, so it's just loading some of my mail for me in this offline scenario. And this will cache your email. You can take from a week, 2 weeks, to a month, and you would be able to work with your offline mail that way. Just go into a separate screen for me. Let me just pull it over. There we go. That just went to a separate screen there. So we have all of these capabilities here, so you can take emails offline. Like I said, you have the ability to choose if you want the week, 2 weeks, or month to take offline. You can also take your drive and documents offline as well, and there are some edit capabilities within that. So if you need to take a specific document offline, you have that capability, as well as your calendar feature as well.
Great. Thanks, Tina. Another question we have is from David. Can you have surveys and questionnaires with automated responses integrated into a Google website?
Absolutely. So that's a great question, David. So in the Google websites, you could, let's go to the bottom of the page here. I could easily take any surveys or questionnaires, which would be like a form. So I'll do an example here for you. I could insert a spreadsheet form. It's going to bring up forms that I have created in the past. So we have some examples here. So here's a form that I have. And I can just easily embed that into the site. So this is a form I created already into Google Docs. And once I save that, it automatically gets added into my site. So obviously I'd have to make the layout a little better here, but I just wanted to show you that you could put the forms or questionnaires right into your website to get some additional information. So your name, your email, what is your desired location of a home, square footage, just all the basic information. And then all of this information is captured in a spreadsheet. So those spreadsheets you would just find then right within your drive. These spreadsheets are automatically created for you. So let's just get an example of one here. Here we go. So anytime anybody were to answer those forms, they automatically are populated then into the spreadsheet for you, so you have all the data. It's real time, where as soon as they fill it out, you have that information. And you can also get notifications. So if you don't want to go check your spreadsheet every day, you can choose to get notified when somebody fills out the form. So that'll just come through via email, so it will really streamline that process for you. Are there more tutorial videos that you can show on how to create surveys and integrate them? And you said it's super awesome, so I'm glad to hear for that. One thing I can direct you to right now is blog.didaweb.com. So blog.didaweb.com is a blog that we run. There are some video tutorials on there, but there's also how-to guides with screenshots that direct you how to utilize the features. One thing that you would be interested in, Dave, or David, is one that we just created, how to get the most out of new Google Forms. It'll walk you through how to create those forms, also how to get notifications. So you can just go to that blog, search for the word form, but to make it a little easier for you, I'm putting this link in the chat window, so you don't have to find it yourself. You can just locate it there. And of course, you can always get in contact with us. Go ahead.
I just wanted to throw something in also. You can also go to learn.googleapps.com, and there's a good baseline of information there for all the applications within Google Apps, and that will provide you and your end users a bit of training. It's not quite as extensive as what we offer at Dido, but it does give you a good glimpse of what you can do with Google Apps as well. And that's at learn.googleapps.com.
Great, thanks guys. We have a few more minutes, so I want to get a couple more questions in. I just want a reminder, Bill, thanks for asking that question. This has been recorded, and we will share this out with you shortly, within the next 24 hours, so that if you did miss anything, you'll have an opportunity to review the webinar and get those tips. Another question we have is, within Google Drive, and this comes from Matt, within Google Drive, can you store other file types?
Absolutely. So since I have it up on my screen here, I'll point out that you can store multiple file types. And what's great about having Google Drive as well is there are so many file types that are supported, so no matter what type of file somebody sends you, you'll be able to view it within Google Drive as well. So I can just kind of scroll through here to show you that there are multiple file types available. So you can store first the Google formats, obviously, so document, spreadsheet, presentation. Now on the other hand, you can store also Microsoft file types, so Word, PowerPoint, Excel. You can also store PDFs. You can store images. You can essentially store what you need to store on here. So maybe if it's going to be blueprints, you can store them on here, absolutely. You'll be able to view them then on here. The only difference is the collaboration is with the Google document types. But what's nice is, even if it's not a Google document type, you can still post comments back and forth on the document. So if it's going to be maybe a PDF, I can find a PDF here. So if I were to open up a PDF that I have on Gmail Basics, you can see I can easily view it online, but I could post comments back and forth. So if you were just going to have images of your property listings, I don't know, maybe specific blueprints if you're doing new homes, you could easily store them on here and post comments back and forth and still have those sharing capabilities.
Great. Thanks, Tina. And I'm just going through. It looks like we've actually covered all of our questions in this
Oh, I think we had one more come through. I just noticed this. And David asked another question. How are Google websites different than Wix.com? What other benefits are there to make your services better or make Google App services better? So for anybody that's not familiar, Wix.com is a way to create websites. Now, what would be better with Google in creating this website is, I already said it's as easy as point and click. I know Wix is pretty similar, where you don't have to be a webmaster, you can just point and click. But since you have Google Sites that easily integrates with any other part of Google, it makes that creation that much easier. So if you need to pull any of your property listings that are going to be located in your Google Drive right into your site, you can do that. Plus, we did that demonstration where you can create a form. So David, you're interested in creating forms. It's just a simple point and click and embedding that right in a Google site. So having everything kept in one location tends to streamline the process and just make it easier on yourself. And of course, since this is cloud services, you can access this from anywhere, anytime. You can share it out with others. One thing that I like is the ability to make Google Sites mobile friendly, because sometimes you can put a QR code right outside a home and people walking by can just scan it with their phone and that will take them to your Google site that you created. Another question, do the surveys work for customers on smartphones, iPad? Can they enter information on their smart device? Yes, you can enter information on your smartphones. So it could either be through a web browser, or if you're just sharing that particular form with them, if they have Google Drive, they could bring it up that way as well. But to answer your question, absolutely, if they were going to maybe get on the website even where you embedded that, they could fill that out, which definitely streamlines the process. And I'm a big fan of QR codes. I like to scan them. So that's usually what sells me.
Thanks, Tina.
Yeah. Oh, and thanks for the compliment. Awesome, Tay. Okay, I think that was all of them.
Yes, it looks like we're all covered on the question side. Thanks, Tina.
All right, thank you. Okay, so it looks like we were able to answer all of the questions here. On behalf of Bill and myself, I really want to thank you for taking time out of your day to learn more about Google Apps. Feel free to contact us with additional information. I also know that some of you, I remember Pat was requesting additional information on just maybe some of the basics such as email and calendar. So feel free to reach out to us. We'll be reaching out with the recording in 24 hours and giving you additional information on how we can help you go Google. So thank you very much for your time and hope everyone enjoys the rest of your day.
Oh, and